Okay, so the first few things you'll need to keep in mind when you're setting up your eMAR is you'll want to decide what tags in Best Notes you're going to use so that they will pull over into your eMAR. And they can be access or fixed tags or both. Okay, if you do set up two, then you'll need to make sure your clients have both those tags or they won't come in. Okay, a scenario for that would be if you want current clients to come in but only a specific location. So you'll have a current access tag and then whatever fixed tag that location is. And so only those ones will come over even though you have a lot of clients with a current tag. The other thing you'll want to keep in mind is what times you're going to have your meds passed out as, so you can get those set up correctly in the first place. Okay. Another is the type of devices you want clients to sign off on their medications. So that can be done with a SIG pad, it can be done with a template. It just needs to be able to get to online, and then they can sign from there. They'll be able to use either their finger or a PIN number or scribble with a whatever, tablet, C, pointer. So anyway, those are the things to keep in mind while you're setting up. All of your staff that use eMAR will need to know your site ID, and then they'll use their username and password to log in. So let's start off by going to Best Notes. Okay, now we'll go to Settings and to Users, and we'll pick on Amy here. So down here in the medical section of our permissions, you'll see there is an eMAR access, a manage patients, and an eMAR configure settings. Those are the three new ones, okay? So this first one here, the edit medications, is the one that's been there before. And staff will need to have this in order to put medications into the meds tab like they have, okay? And any medications that go to the eMAR have to be put in our meds tab. Okay, if you're using Doctor First, they'll go from Doctor First to the meds tab and then to the eMAR. Otherwise, you'll enter them in the meds tab and have them come over. For this new eMAR access button here, what that does is it gives you the permission to pass out medications. Okay, once the eMAR has been set up. The eMAR manage patients means that you can set up the medications for when they're going to be passed out in the eMAR. Okay, and then eMAR configure settings here is the backbone piece that the administrator will do in setting up what MedPass times are available and all of that kind of setup stuff. So we'll go through each of those. Okay, and then your clients, if they're going to sign with a PIN number, they'll use the same ePIN icon at the very top left there to set up that PIN number. And then they'll be able to sign in the eMAR. Okay, and then we're going to go into the MedClinical here for just a second. So as long as they have a medication listed as active in the med section, that will pull over into the eMAR for you. So when you go to crm.bestnotes.com/apps, that will take you to the eMAR sign-in. So you'll put in the site ID, put in your username, and your password. Now we added these little question mark buttons here at the side. So if you don't know what your site ID is, it's going to give some instructions for you to go back to your system administrator to get that information. And if you need to reset your password, the same thing. So we'll go ahead and log in. And there is a remember site ID, so the first time you sign in, you'll need it, but after that, you can have it remember. So you're not needing it all the time. And now just click the eMAR button here. So let's go through the configure settings first. So the administrator will see a settings button here. You'll click on there. So first you're going to set up your locations. Okay, the label is set with the tag name that you're pulling into BestNotes. And you can enter that label right in the box. Then your primary tag, you'll choose which tag you want to have there. And then if you have a second tag, that'll be your secondary. So if you're doing two, your primary one would probably be your access tag, and then the secondary would be your fixed tag. Okay, if you have homes or rooms that are all male or all female and want to specify whether that room is male or female, you've got that option there. And then you'll want status to be admitted so that it will pull in if they have a DOA start date. And then in here, you'll go ahead and pick which times the medications are available to pass out. Okay, and then the custom notes here. This is where you can put in if they are refusing to take a medication or for some reason not taking it. You can specify what kind of notes you want to have in a drop-down, or there is a way to text in that box so you can type in another reason. If you click on Add Note, then that's how you'll add that in. These notes will come in handy for signing as well. So if a client decides that they're declining to sign, you can also have a reason in here preset for why they decided not to sign. And then the SIG pad, you'll set up how they're going to sign for their medication. So we've set up a SIG pad 1. You could set up more than that. You could have, say you have 2 tablets, so you'd have a tablet 1, tablet 2. Or you can specify that you want to be able to sign by the ePIN. And so that's just putting in the name of your tablet, and then in the description put the name as well as your whatever your description is for that, and whether it's a signature or a PIN number. Okay, so that's the eConfigure settings permission. So now we're going to go back here to patients, and now we have a patient here, Jenny Doe, and we need to set up the times for her meds to be passed out. So we're going to click on her, and if you have the Manage Patient eMAR permission, you'll see a little button on this far right side. So when you click in there, then you'll have her medications listed. Okay? So if you click on the calendar button, then you'll set up what times and days that is available. So let's see, we had 8. And what else did we have? Okay, and then we have all the days, so they're going to take it every day. Or if it's one that they only take every other day, okay. You can also specify every other day starting on a specific date, if it's an every other day, or you could just click all for everything. And then on a PRN medication, which are given out as needed, if they're marked as needed in the meds tab, that will qualify them for a PRN inside the eMAR. So the box for setting it up is just like this. Okay. If they've got a headache, you need that medication right now, you can mark it as stat. And that signals the person doing the med pass that that client needs this medication as soon as possible. And once that has been given out, then that stat goes away on here, so it's a one-time use. So the next time they need it, you'll just go back in and click stat again. Okay, now if you want to keep track of inventory, you'll click on the barcode button. Oh, we've used that one quite a few times. Let's try this one. There we go. So we've only used this one once. So you're going to put in an inventory number. Okay, and usually it'll be the prescription number or something that way. And then if you do an underscore and the date that you received that medication. Then that would be a good inventory number for you so you know when which bottles came in first, if you happen to have more than one. You can track their pharmacy and phone number in here if for refill purposes if you would like. It's not a mandatory field. And then you'll just specify what date it came in and how long it's supposed to be good for. So we'll put through September 30th. Okay. Now the dose in here, you're going to say if they take one pill, so like over here on Zoloft, one tablet every 4 hours. So the dose is going to be 1, and then you're going to put in the quantity in the container. So say they have 60. Then it's going to calculate based on 0 having been dispensed and remaining how many there are. And then you'll click update on that one. So each time you do a MedPass, it will calculate and subtract the number dispensed so that it will keep your remaining balance. Okay, so those are the manage patients permission there. So we'll return to the patient list. And then we'll go to a time. So say we're going to pass these out at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll click on Jenny. And then if you need to prepare your medications beforehand, before you're going to be passing them out, then we've got this little prep button in here for you to use. So once that's been prepped, you just click it. It turns it green so that the system knows it's ready to go. So then we'll return to MedPass and start the MedPass. And then go to the patient. And then you're going to give out that medication and click the check mark to turn it green. Or if they refuse it, you click the X to turn it red, and then it's going to require a note. So you can say refused, or you can type in whatever you want in there as well. Okay, if they refuse it and then 10 minutes later they come back and say, hey, I want to go ahead and take that after all, then you have the option of giving it out to them. You'll mark it with your check mark again. And then you can specify why they came back to take it. Okay. So here you're done with this client and you want them to sign. So you'll click on the patient signature. Oh, okay. You need to go over to the right. You'll set your stick pad, whether it's signing by finger or by e-pen on that far right side. Now you'll click the patient signature button. Okay. And then you'll go over to the site for signing your and that one is crm.bestnotes.com/apps/sigpad is the site for here. Now you can have this set up so that you have one tab open for your eMAR on your laptop, and then you have a tablet with this other URL set up so that you can just hand them a tablet and have them sign. Or you can have it this way where you're just flipping tabs. So we'll sign here with our mouse and hit accept. Okay. Then we'll go back to the eMAR and click yes because it's all done. So now you see here's the notes. This one was passed out, this one was refused and then given later. I didn't change that note. When I did that one, but anyway. So there's your note. And then the staff can sign, and all they do is just click the button and it adds their signature in. Okay, once that's done, you'll see a green check mark there on the left-hand side on each client. If they refused one, that check mark is red. And so then you'll see that the completed one is now turned green at the top. Yellow needs to be done since it's noon, and noon is past. And then the upcoming ones are gray up until they get done, or until their time comes up and then they'll turn color. Okay, so that's passing out medications and inventory tracking. So now we have some reports for you to go through. So if you click the Reports tab, and then in the drop-down here, you can do History by Location, by Patient, or Scheduled by Location. So let's start with the first one. You'll choose which location you're going through and your date, and it's a one-day view. But on here, it will show you what time meds were passed out with their notes and everything. You can search by a client or by a medication, or it will just give you a list of everyone at that location. And all of these can be printed out with the little printer there on the right. Okay, history by patient. You can search into your patient. And this time you have a date range. That one didn't come up the other day either. We'll need to check that one out.
Yeah.
It worked once. And this one, the schedule by location, just gives you a yellow box if that medication is due to be given out to a specific client. So again, it will show you everyone at that location, or you can filter by patient or medication. And this one can be exported using this icon or printed with the one on the far right.